So recently, YouTuber Gramgo has tried exposing another YouTuber called Snunt for many things, such as accepting a $500 promotion for a CS server. And Snunt responded to this by saying saying that he was facing homelessness, and it just kept going and going between the two of them. And this video obviously is quite long, as you can tell. So for your guys' sake, I will be splitting this video into multiple chapters, starting with chapter 1, the beginning. Now in this chapter, I'll talk about the first drama that started all of this, which was like the drama that I just said, with Gramgo trying to expose Snunt for accepting a $500 promotion for a CS server. Snunt responded to this by saying that he was very desperate and was actually facing homelessness at the time of this promotion, and it was later confirmed that he was facing homelessness. But instead of just believing him and admitting fault, Gramgo then lied completely, saying that this was an excuse to cover up the fact that what he did was allegedly illegal. He states the fact that because there were minors in the server that he promoted, it was Snunt's fault, which just isn't true. If he promotes a server, he isn't in control of what goes on in that server. It's the staff's fault, not Snunt's fault, if you get what I mean. Snunt is not to blame for anything that happened in the server. He just ended up promoting it, like many other people who promote things that go wrong, and it isn't their fault. But if it's different this time, then give me a good reason why it's different. Oh, it's because he's accepting money from a CSM server. Many people have made similar mistakes in the past and have gotten completely away with it instead of just being called out of nowhere. It is ridiculous what Gramgo is doing here, by the way. It would fall on the fault of the staff of the server, like I just said, to make sure that the server had no underage people involved, considering there was a lot of sexual activities going on within this server. And Gramgo tried confirming this and using evidence of a girl in a VC talking sexually, but this girl had a higher pitched voice, so he had no evidence whatsoever, didn't show any proof, said that this girl was a minor. And of course it was proven that she wasn't a minor later on, and she just had a high pitched voice. And the claims that this was a child ring, which Gramgo did say that, he said that this is a child sex ring, he blamed that on Snunt. And Snunt even went as far as just apologizing for the promotion, explaining his situation, and even took down the video that, well, was quote unquote exposed by Gramgo. So yeah, that was the first drama between them two. So obviously they didn't start off on good terms, I believe. And for the next chapter, Chapter 2, here we go again. As we all know, Gramgo was severely involved with the spawnism situation and drama that was spread from the Forsaken community. And by really involved, I mean he milked the situation, let's be real. How many videos do you need to make on one situation, bro? And Snunt also did make a video on the spawnism situation, and Gramgo deciding to start another drama. Notice the pattern here with Snunt and Gramgo. Gramgo's always the one to start the drama here, not Snunt. Snunt's always the one to defend himself here. He's always the victim, right? The victim of drama from Gramgo, let's say. There's some points and places where he is, in fact, in the wrong, which I will also go over. He claims that Snunt lied about the spawnism situation and was acknowledging the fact that he was misleading his audience, saying that a girl was who had like supposedly ended her life for the spawn, which it was later confirmed that she had in fact faked her death, which and then he falsely accused Snun of misleading his audience and not doing research into what he's talking about, which is just completely false. He said he was tricked alongside Gramgo about a girl faking her death, and Gramgo's calling Snun out for it. It's so stupid. And before you say I'm not doing my own research, I've asked around in both Snunt's and Parlo's. I can't get into Gramgo's because of a situation I'll talk about later, but I did talk in Snunt and Parlo's Discord servers about the situation, and I've watched every single video in order on a playlist with that link of that playlist in the description down below for you guys to watch if you would like to. Anyway, in the very same video talking about Snunt's, he's obviously been misled, which isn't Snunt's fault. He then says that the same girl who allegedly herself and he accused Snunt of spreading misinfo about, he does the exact same thing by saying that the same girl herself and was confirmed dead. It's the exact same person, and then accuses Snunt of also doxing this person when all he showed of this person was a display name that he could have literally changed. Anyone can change a display name. It doesn't link to anything. Anyone can have a display name. Doesn't mean anything. Someone can have the same display name as me. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Anyway, now for chapter 3. Snunt's response. Snunt points out this, and Gramgo just completely ignores it, and instead falsely strikes Snunt, getting his channel taken down, and in doing so, he breaks YouTube terms of service, forcing Snunt to move on to his second channel to respond, called Snut, and obviously alongside this, his Snut channel wouldn't get as much attention as it needed to when he was responding to these accusations that were being held against him. Now, of course, Snunt's response was, in fact, exposing Gramgo for obviously breaking YouTube terms of service and completely ignoring the fact that Gramgo had doxed him, or well, was threatening to dox Snunt at the time, and was falsely reporting him to the police to try and get him arrested. Snunt publicly stated that he was scared for his safety and his family's safety because of Gramgo. Before I continue, I have to ask this every video. Please do check that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, as it risks my channel being falsely striked by Gramgo for just even saying his name. And yeah, he has done that before. Also, don't forget to join the Discord server if you have any questions or want to talk in my community. I do appreciate both support and criticism, and hey, if you don't want to join the server, just talk to me in the comments and I will respond to you to the best of my ability. Anyway, back onto the video with chapter 4. The beginning of the end. For a while, Snunt would release video after video to no avail, as Gramgo's manipulation, lies and slander had worked. For now at least, considering the fact that I'm making this video right now. Firstly, Gramgo did actually dox Snunt and was actually threatening to report Snunt falsely to the police. And of course, Snunt exposes Gramgo for this, and Gramgo said saying that Gramgo had doxed his name, his address, where he lived, like what country he lived, and other private details. Snunt exposed the fact that Gramgo was also being racist towards him, and even brought up a past where Snunt exposed Gramgo for using a 15-year-old's as evidence, barely even censoring it, and his excuse was just that, an excuse. It was He literally just said, oh, it was just evidence. It was literally just CP. That's what it is. Snunt exposed Gramgo for also working with doxers, harassers, swatters, and even hired racists to moderate and edit his videos. Moderate his server and edit his videos. How crazy, bro. And people still believe Gramgo. How, actually stupid can some Gramgo fans be, by the way? Honestly, man. Anyway, let's move on to Chapter 5. The lawsuit. Snunt then gathered up evidence and the courage to publicly sue Gramgo. And he explained in a video why he was suing Gramgo. He said it was for slander, defamation, discrimination, and of course, everything else that Gramgo had done. And he pursued legal action against Gramgo. And of course, Gramgo did respond saying, oh no, I'm getting sued. I'm in shock. I don't know why I deserve this. And it was very clearly fake, considering the evidence that Snunt has, i.e. the videos, the screenshots, voice recordings, and screen recordings of group chats, all of that, versus Gramgo say, oh, I didn't do that. In a court case, that won't hold up. Gramgo's response to this lawsuit was complete disbelief and was just making up shit to try and call the whole Snunt lawsuit fake. And obviously it was very fake considering the evidence that Snunt had provided, i.e. the screenshots, the voice recordings, the videos, and the screen recordings of the group chats that Snunt had shown. Now, Gramgo did try lie about it in his response, but from Snunt's most recent video, which I'll talk about later, we can confirm that this is just false, and that Snunt was right the entire time, with Gramgo being a horrible person overall. We learned that from Snunt's video that he is suing Gramgo for doxing. He got told that by a person that a GC was made where he was doxed, and after it got leaked, he removed everyone and removed all the evidence incriminating them, which is classified as tampering with evidence and is punishable by up to 36 months of jail time. Considering the fact that multiple images were deleted, after all, there would most likely also be fines alongside this jail time. These were the only things that Gramgo would be worrying about, considering that Gramgo is, well, meant to be one of the most trusting in the Roblox drama community, and considering he's facing a lot of backlash for the right reasons, I'm sure Gramgo won't get as much trust as he used to. This situation does get worse later when a leaked call of Gramgo is released by Snunt in his most recent video. And considering Gramgo's history of doxing, and even if they were bad people, it's very clear what happened here. Gramgo made a GC with Snunt, and after doxing Snunt's name, face, address, and even showing pictures of his home and making jokes out of it, thankfully he did get out of homelessness, he removed Snunt from the GC before he could get evidence and deleted everything incriminating him and believed he was in the clear. However, Snunt had gotten all the evidence he needed, but only showed a little bit just to see if he could catch someone in a lie, and he did. He caught none other than Gramgo himself, saying that Gramgo didn't do any of the doxing and just knew that he lived in the United States. And he had solid evidence proving that Gramgo lied about this and was actually one of the main people doxing Snunt. So yeah, Snunt was saying the truth all along. Alright, and with that said, let's move on to Chapter 6. The released recordings. Now, these recordings were leaked by someone who was in a group chat call with Snunt, Parlo, Frev, who was one of Parlo and Gramgo's editors, and made a different, separate server on Discord away after all the Parlo drama happened, he made a separate server claiming that he was independent and had no affiliation with Parlo whatsoever, which is just not true at all. In Snunt's latest video, we see a recording of Guamgo, Parlo, Frev, and another person, and someone called Delta. In this recording, we hear a call between about 5 of them, and the jokes and topics that they discuss is very disgusting and is downright sorry. And if you don't believe me, just listen for yourself.
If I find out you're cheating, I will set up a machine and you will be infinitely in this game. It's not that I don't want to invite him because he wanted to a 13-year-old. I didn't want to invite him because I thought he was going to steal shit like a Jew.
This is just a friendly reminder here. This is the guy with over 200,000 subscribers and 200,000 people who believe he is a good person. And to be fair, even I did for a while. He was my idol for a while. He was my inspiration, or part of. And that was until, obviously, he started going after Snunt and just falsely accusing him and harassing him. And then I saw him for what he really was. And he lied about abandoning Parlo, alongside Frev lying about abandoning both Parlo and Guamgo. He consistently talked about raping kids. As you saw, he said it around 9 times in that one... Well, not in that one recording, but in the whole leaked recording. He said it about 9 times. He had doxed Snunt and harassed Snunt's mother via emails, and he has a past history of doxing many other people. Now, in the we're going to move on into the final chapter. Chapter 7, Silencing. The next thing I want to talk about is how toxic and manipulative Guamgo and his server truly is. Now, this situation involves me myself being a victim to Guamgo's dictatorship of a server. I want to make it very clear and very obvious here that dictatorship isn't referring to any certain dictator before he accuses me of that. It is just the fact that it relates more to a dictatorship than a community. Anyway, I made a very clear and obvious joke about being underage. This is on my 16th birthday, by the way, and the admins acknowledged this when they banned me. As you see in the ban message, they wrote, "I can tell it was a joke, but I have to be safe," which is fair for the most part, but all I said after someone being banned was that I'm 12, guys, trust. That is exactly what I said. And that was enough for Guamgo's mods to ban me from the server. And I wasn't that mad about it. I hated Guamgo at the time anyway. But they got people to get to my account and mass report my account for falsely being underage. They falsely mass reported my account for being underage on my 16th birthday. December 22nd, 2009, by the way, if you want to check out the scripts or whatever of when I got banned. They falsely reported my account. This, in fact, affected another video, which is why it took me ages to start posting again, with another YouTuber, Mythical, on the Ashton video, and the account that got banned was the only account that had access to all the incriminating evidence against Ashton, and this again is tampering with evidence, as he blocked off access to this evidence falsely. This breaks Discord's TOS because he got my account falsely banned over a very clear and acknowledged joke. Guamgo's manipulation is that of a dictator. He controls what people see and don't see to put his image in the good light when he is really a pathological liar behind the scenes. With that said, guys, this is the end of the video, and this is the truth that Guamgo fans need to accept, and that Snunt has been the victim of this drama the entire time. Before I end this video, please do leave a like and subscribe, as this video has taken ages just to prove Snunt's innocence for once. Oh, and remember to join the Discord if you want to ask any questions or just chat with my community. Anyway, that's everything for this video. This video is in fact not intended for hate, harassment or cyberbullying, as we saw in the beginning. This is a documentary exposing the truth on this situation. And with that said, peace out.